you. Well, we are less than a month away until Saturday, December 5th, live on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. We have the welterweight championship of the world on the line as the current WBC and IBF welterweight champion of the world. Errol the Truth Spence Jr. will put both of his titles on the line against two-division world champion in Danny Swift Garcia. The action gets going on December 5th at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. And it is coming to you live from what I think is one of the most immaculate stadiums in the world, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Limited fans will be in attendance following COVID protocols, and you can get them right now at SeatGeek.com. As we have a tremendous main event, but also we have a sensational undercard as well. And all three fights on the undercard features Mexican fighters or Mexican-American fighters. Let's look at our co-main event of the evening in the super welterweight division. It is a WBC super welterweight eliminator fight as unbeaten rising sensation, the towering inferno, Sebastian Fundora, fresh off of his win over Nate Gallimore back in August, will put his skills to the test against the hard-hitting Jorge Cota. Also in the welterweight division, this one is going to be an unbelievable battle featuring the Riverside Rocky, Josecito Lopez battling Francisco Chia Santana. This one is going to be amazing because I've never seen both guys in a boring fight whatsoever. Expect action in that one. To lead off the pay-per-view, a WBC featherweight eliminator matchup featuring former champion Julio Ceja putting his skills to the test against Eduardo Ramirez. Again, it all comes your way on Saturday, December 5th from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. The event is brought to you by Man Down Promotions along with DSG Promotions and TGB Promotions. And now it gives me the great honor and pleasure to introduce a man who's been involved in the sport of boxing for over 30 years. Talk about knowing the sport like nobody's business. He is brilliant at what he does. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of TGB Promotions, my dear friend, and without a doubt will be a Hall of Famer, Mr. Tom Brown.
Well, thank you, Ray. Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Garcia is one of the most intriguing fights of this crazy year. It's a fight that will determine who is, pound for pound, the best fighter in the world. This fight on December 5, it's going to be a tremendous night of boxing at the home of the best professional sports franchise in the world, the Dallas Cowboys AT&T Stadium. And this legendary stadium is the perfect host where two fighters in the prime of their careers will put their legacies on the line. This is one of the best fights that can be made in boxing's hottest division, the welterweights. Errol Spence Jr. is one of the most talked about fighters in the sport. Many consider him not only to be the best welterweight in the division, but the best fighter in the world. This is the type of fight that elevates our sport of boxing. And Danny Garcia is a throwback fighter, one of the most battle-tested, skillful boxers in the sport. What he did running through the 140-pound division before moving up to 147, it's simply amazing. So putting Spence Jr. and Garcia into the ring against each other promises really nothing but fireworks. It's the kind of fight that will bring back memories of some of the classic welterweight battles of the past. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Mr. Tom Brown, the president of TGB Promotions, one of the promoters involved in Saturday, December 5th, Spence Garcia. Now let's meet the trainers. I want to go ahead and quick story about this man. He actually put his hair on the line in September of 2013 because he believes in his son so much. This is a father-son tandem that knows how to win at the highest level of what it means to be a prize fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, the father and the trainer of Danny Garcia. Here is Angel Garcia.
Hey, how you doing? Peace, brother, peace. Hey, I didn't put my hair on the line, put my head on the line.
You put your head on the line. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, Lucas Matisse. Tell me,
Thank you,
Angel,
brother.
give me your opening thoughts about how things have been going with you.
Hey, everything been perfect with me. Everything been perfect with Danny. We've been having a great camp. You see how he looking. He's 160 pounds, not even trying hard. He's ready to go tomorrow. We have to. You know, December 5th is going to be a great night. It's going to be a good night for me and Danny. Successful night. Not taking nothing for nobody, but December 5th, we coming to get what's ours.
Can't hear anything else.
And it's the WBC belt.
All right. Well, thank you very much to Angel. Now let's
Thank
go
you.
down to the Dallas area and speak with the esteemed trainer of Errol Spence Jr., also the trainer of Jermall Charlo as well. He knows the sport of boxing. He knows his fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the esteemed Mr. Derek James. Derek.
What am I speaking for? I got to hear the question.
No question.
How you guys
Derek,
doing? Happy to be here.
Derek, can you tell us about our training camp has been like?
Okay.
All right. Well, now let's move to the fighters as we are going ahead and go ahead, Kelly.
Talk to Derek. He just got sound.
Okay, perfect. Derek, can you tell us about how training camp has been like?
The training camp has been really good, man. A lot of hard work. We've been working since March. So it's everything is coming together. Everything is good.
Thank you very much, Derek. We'll get back to you guys shortly. Now let's go back to the city of brotherly love with this gentleman, a former two-division world champion, former unified 140-pound champion. His credentials are unbelievable. 32 years of age at 140, wins over Amir Khan, Lucas Matisse, Zab Judah, Eric Morales. Then in 2016, defeated Robert Guerrero to capture the welterweight championship of the world. Only losses, narrow defeats against champions in Keith Thurman and Showtime Shawn Porter. He was the first man and only man to stop Adrian Granados last April, and then followed it up with an impressive performance over Ivan Redkach back in January at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. 36 wins, 21 of those by knockout against 2 defeats from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Also, he's very proud of his Puerto Rican heritage. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Danny Swift Garcia. Danny.
How you guys doing? It's crazy to have a press conference like this. You know, it's my first time ever doing it like this, during the pandemic and, the crazy world we're living in right now. But, I'm going to start this off like I always start all my press conferences. I want to thank God for being here. I'd like to thank Angel Garcia, my team, Al Heyman, Premier Boxing, Fox Sports for giving me the opportunity to showcase my skills on a large platform. As far as camps been going great. We've been here for a while already. The fight got pushed back 2 weeks, so it gave us extra 2 weeks to get ready. My weight is good, so far so good. I feel like we're ahead of schedule. Right now we're just taking it one day at a time. We're very excited to be in this position again to fight for another world title. And come December 5th, we don't want to leave no rocks unturned. We want to go out there and give it 110% and go in there and take these belts from him in his hometown. But other than that, I'm blessed. I feel good. Life is great and can't wait to perform.
Thank you very much, Danny. And now let's talk with the man who will be standing across the ring from him at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas on December 5th on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. His record, 26 wins, no losses, 21 of those coming by way of knockout. Let's take a look at chronologically what this man has been able to do. 2012, a United States Olympian. 5 years later, goes to the UK and smashes Kell Brook to become the IBF welterweight champion of the world. Then follows it up in March of 2019 in front of nearly 50,000 fans at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, and has a clinical performance over Mikey Garcia. Then in September of 2019 at Staples Center in Los Angeles, had a mightily impressive performance over Shawn Porter in the fight of the year last year. He is the unified WBC and IBF welterweight champion of the world, the fan favorite and the hard-hitting. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr.
How everybody doing? I feel blessed. I'm ready to go. I feel like I'm 100%. We've been training since probably March. We've been training, working hard, staying focused. My weight's good. I'm on point, and I can't wait just to fight at home, give my hometown fans, something to cheer for. I'm defending my title against a great opponent, Danny Garcia. Like I said before, I didn't want any tune-up fights. I didn't want, somebody I could knock out in the first round. I wanted somebody who's going to be tough and going to push me to the limit that I know I need to be pushed to so I can get back to Errol Spence Jr. So I'm very focused on the fight. I can't wait on December 5th. I'm putting on a great show, a great performance. And I will say NXT.
Thank you very much to Errol. Now let's go to Philadelphia with Angel Garcia. Angel, what must Danny do in order to get the win over Errol Spence Jr. on December 5th?
Well, we're not going to I never look at tape from past fights from Danny's opponents. So we're not going to learn nothing from him and Garcia, Mikey. You can't learn nothing from that. And what I do is when I train Danny, I focus on Danny. I don't worry about looking at video because I'm hopeless against that. I can't change nothing that they got over there. I know what I can make Danny better. So we've been working on things we're gonna dictate the fights. First of all, we're gonna be on top of him. So we're not gonna do like Mikey did. He ran, all night. He was glad he was out of there. He was glad he took the check home, I bet. But we're not looking at that. We're looking at going to Texas, in Dallas Stadium, because they got a little rival, the Eagles against Dallas. So we're going out there, we're gonna sit on their helmet. On Dallas Stadium, we're gonna sit on their helmet after Danny wins the title. So I can't tell you what we got, but we're gonna bring anything he got, we're gonna respond to anything he brings to the table. Not disrespecting the man, because I gotta respect him as a fighter. But just because you see 2 L's on Danny, because I'm not gonna sugarcoat him, it was all bullshit politics. Can I curse?
Kelly, that's a question for Kelly Watson.
Well, I just make sure. I want to make sure that I don't get beat. Because I'm going to be professional too. So let's get back to Danny. We got 2 L's. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But it was a lot of crap calling me, politics, calling me racist and all that dumb crap that came with it. You know what I'm saying? But this time around, in Dallas, we're not going to put it in the judge's hands. It's not going to be in the judge's hands no more. Danny got to do what he got to do. And December 5th, we're going to Dallas because, first of all, we chose to fight him in Dallas. So make people understand that he ain't the A side like they say he is. It's both sides. Danny makes calls too. And another thing that I'll make sure is there too is world judges. We want world judges. We ain't going with local judges to make it fair. And at the end of the day, after we take care of that, and then Danny's got to go in there and do his thing with these 2 right here, the ones he got. Because he's not going over the handicap. He got 2 hands like he does. And anything Spence brings to the table, we're going to respond to anything he brings. So that whatever they bring, whatever they got in mind, I'm hopeless. I can't. That's their team over there. I got to respect that. But I know what we bring. We're bringing a great fight December 5th.
Thank you very much, Angel.
I need the world to know Danny's no opponent. Don't get that twisted. He's no opponent. He got 2 L's, yeah, but you got to respect the man. He's 39 fights. And we wasn't pampered. What I mean by that is that Danny didn't have it easy in this game. All odds against him. He should have been the Olympian 2018, but we got sent up the river too. So they want him to be the alternate, just in case you didn't have that in the resume.
I got you. Well, I appreciate it, Angel.
People think that Danny just came from Little Woods in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Danny, he came here because he fought to come here. And Danny fought top fighters when he was coming up. When he was 6-0, do the resume. Oscar de la Hoya and 2-pound Stevie. 6-0 with a 28 guy, 11 lost, 18 KO southpaw. And Danny destroyed in front of my best fighter in the world was Alexi Arguello.
Angel, we'll come back to you. Let's go over to Derek James. We
you.
appreciate the passion and how much you believe in your son.
Oh, yeah,
and now let's go to Derek James, who also believes
We working with the big man. This ain't
Derek,
me.
let's
big man.
Derek, can we go ahead and I want to get your thoughts on the fact that, you know, Errol Spence is coming off of a 14-month layoff, but the one thing that you told me, Derek, is that Errol is hitting harder now than he ever has been. Can you elaborate on that, Derek?
Yeah, I mean, he's punching really hard. He's doing really well, man. I think that, you know, he's doing great, man. I think that the first thing about him, he has the best resume, probably in boxing other than Pacquiao. But, you know, really, nobody else resume compared to that. So nobody's, you know, we know him bad, we know him, he deals with records, and I mean, that's the type of guy that inspires us to be great. You have to have a great dance partner to be great. You can be good by yourself, but when somebody's great like Danny, you get a great fight. You get a historic fight, something that goes down else. That's what we look for. And that's what Errol's coming to do in his hometown. I mean, so it's a beautiful night for fighting.
Now let's go to Danny Garcia. We're having some issues with the mics, but we're going to get that rectified. But we'll go back to Danny Garcia. Danny, for you, in your mind, what do you have to do in this fight against Errol Spence Jr. in order to claim the victory? Also, from the oddsmaker standpoint, you are the underdog heading into this matchup. Does that give you extra motivation?
You know, I've been an underdog my whole career, so, you know, that's not new to me. You know, I'm used to playing that role. That's the role they gave me. But, you know, I just have to go in there and be myself. I have to go in there and be Danny Garcia, you know, believe in myself 100%, mentally and physically. Go in there, fight round by round, make adjustments, and dig deep. And, you know, that's what a true champion is made of. And that's what I plan on doing come December 5th.
Thank you very much to Danny Garcia. Now your adversary, Errol Spence Jr., down in the Dallas area. Once again, just had, you know, the new father. Congratulations, Errol, on your newborn. I know that is, you know, that's wonderful to see. But you're coming off of that layoff, Errol. You know, are you concerned at all about ring rust? And you mentioned that you wanted to fight. You did not want a tune-up fight coming out in your next fight. I mean, you're coming off of that car accident. You're the 14-month layoff, but you just seem to want any and all challengers. Why Danny Garcia?
Like I said, I picked Danny Garcia just so I can rise up to the occasion. You know, I feel like, you know, he was a great fighter, you know, and the odds still in my favor off a car crash. And I'm still, you know, the top dog in the division, the top guy in the division. So, you know, I feel like I would show that I'm just a great fighter, and he's a great opponent. His dad gets me hype, just him saying how they're gonna dictate the pace and how you gonna, you know, come forward and throw punches and this and that and come take the belt from me in my hometown. You know, every time I fight in my hometown, I either got a knockout or just shutout win. So I'm 100% ready for anything they bring to the table. With come forward, with the box, with just stand there and fight. We can do whatever they need to do. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna listen to my coach dictate the pace, and I'm not gonna get into the little heads game like with Shawn Porter and things like that. Because I fought Shawn Porter game and I beat him at his own game. You know, I'm sure his dad want me to, you know, stand there and slug with Danny Garcia. And he got a rock jaw chin, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to win the fight.
I want to go with Derek because we're having some mic issues. But Derek, with you, in terms of, you told me that Errol is hitting harder now than he ever has been. What do you feel is the key to success in that regard?
I think that it's about just setting up what you want to set up. You know, it's not easy. Then very friendly, you know, we fought big punches.
Derek, I'm sorry, it's Kelly. Your microphone is not working. It's hard to hear you. We're going to have to just try to fix it on the ground there. If the camera people could fix it on the ground, and we'll hold questions for Derek, please. I'm sorry.
He said the mic's not working.
Did you take out one of the AirPods?
We can hear Errol fine.
Put the other one back in, I think. That was the other one?
Yeah, one more.
We can hear you too, camera lady. So if you
Yeah,
can
it has to be his.
tell her to get off. Her sound is fine. We're recording this, please. So let's.
All right, let's go ahead and
You want
open it up
something?
to questions, Kelly. I believe we want to open it up for questions for the media as we get that rectified. But let's open it up for questions, if that's okay with you guys from the media, as we will go ahead and have the media ask questions. By all means, make sure that you are in queue and get ready to come out with your questions for Danny Garcia and Errol Spence and their trainers.
Yeah, for any media that would like to ask a question, please hit the raise hand button, and then we'll come to you. Our first question is going to come from Eric Woodyard. Eric, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question.
What's up? How you doing, Earl? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Just for you, you talked about not wanting to tune up fight and taking these risks, man. Do you feel like at this point in your career, you need these type of fights to continue to cement your legacy and take these risks? Because a lot of guys don't want to take these type of risks. So for you, like you say, jumping right out, what does that mean for you? Are you feeling that urgency to make these type of statements at this point in your career?
Definitely, man. It's up to me to make that big splash, especially coming from my car accident. Everybody expected me to, take a lesser opponent, but me taking a lesser opponent, that was back when I made my pro debut in my first 10 fights and things like that. Now I want to fight the top dogs in the division. I finally got to that spot where I could fight, the big names and the guys I've been yearning to fight for. So now the time is time that I'm not going to, go backwards. I'm going to just go forward and fight the top guys that I've been wanting to fight since I was like 14, 15 and 0. Since I won a title from Kell Brook.
All right, good luck, man.
All right, thanks, Eric. Our next question is going to come from Jamil Parker. Jamil, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay, this is for Earl. Southpaws are aqua fighters. They normally hit with straight rights and left hooks. We all know that Danny Garcia possesses power in both. How will you negate that during the fight?
I watch the fight and tune in, or you gonna come buy a ticket. But I mean, we got a game plan for everything, so I'm not worried about no little left hook or right hook or anything that he comes with.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks, Jamil. Our next question is going to come from Jake Donovan. Jake, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Great, thank you very much. My question is actually for Danny. Danny, a lot of people are, for some reason, they're making a big deal about the fact that you're getting this fight after Errol's accident, but you actually wanted this fight well before. I mean, you were in the ring when Errol beat Shawn Porter. How much of it was you seeing something in Errol that you can exploit versus just you always want to challenge yourself against the best?
I after the Mikey fight and the Porter fight, I saw some holes in his game, and I felt like it's a good opportunity for me to become champion again. So, and he's a great champion. I'm a great champion, and I feel like these type of fights bring out the best in Danny Garcia. They make me run that extra mile. They make me spar that extra round. They make me eat the right meals, and they give me the extra motivation I need. And I feel like this is the type of fight that's going to bring out the best in me. And that's why I wanted it.
Great. Thank you so much, Danny. Best of luck. Errol, best of luck to you as well.
All right. Thanks, Jake. Our next question is going to come from Jandra LaBeouf. Jandra, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thank you. My first question is for Errol. When you're a fight fan as well as a fighter, when you look at a fighter like Danny, do you learn more from his wins or do you learn more about him from his losses?
I mean, you definitely learn more from the wins. I mean, like I said, he has a lot of great wins, like great victories, and I mean, you learn a lot from just different fights. Some losses and some wins. Maybe the Keith Thurman, Shawn Porter fight, where you learn from other fights in the past too, like him, Lamar Peterson, and things like that. So, I mean, I don't really have to watch those fights because I'm a student of the game. I'm a fan of the sport. So that's all I do anyway, is watch boxing. So I didn't watch Danny Garcia fight plenty of time.
Okay, thank you. And Danny, a question for you. Angel mentioned earlier that he thought Mikey Garcia ran the whole fight against Spence. When you look at Spence in that fight, what do you think he was most effective at and what he did well in that fight?
You know, I felt like he was the bigger, better man that night. I felt like, you know, Mikey has great skill, but I think the size difference, and he just let his hands go, and Mikey didn't have an answer. So Mikey kind of froze. He just won every round, you know, just by letting his hands go. You know, Mikey didn't take no risk, but you know, Mikey did some good things in there. He held his ground well. He landed some good counter punches, and those are things that I'm taking into consideration, you know, for this camp.
Thank you, gentlemen. Good luck to both of you.
Andrew, next question.
It's a rough day today, bruh.
Andrew, any more questions? What the heck did happen? Oh my God.
Well, why don't we go ahead and do that?
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Ben, baby, our next question will come from you if you want to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, for sure. Errol and Errol, can y'all hear me okay? Awesome.
Yes, we can. Fire away.
Awesome. Hey, Errol, you know, quick question. I think all of us know about the accident, kind of what occurred. In some way, was that a real wake-up call for you and kind of what, you know, you needed to do in and out of the ring? I mean, how did that kind of affect you moving forward after you had the accident and everything that happened?
It really didn't do nothing, but just made me more focused, made me hungrier, gave me the same hunger that I had, you know, before I won the world title. So it just made me more focused, more hungry, make sure I kept my weight down. And, you know, basically before I was probably coming to camp, you know, when it was just a training camp, I had a fight lined up. But now I'm actually, you know, training year round and, you know, making it a priority more than just, you know, okay, I got to fight now. I got to start training. Now I'm training ahead of time instead of just waiting till the last minute.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, Ben. Our next question will come from Carlos Toro. Carlos, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, gentlemen. Thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. You know, first question to Errol, you know, obviously, you know, you're back in the fold, you're training and everything, but how did it feel just getting into that first sparring session, that first gym session after the accident and preparing for the fight? How did it feel to you just kind of getting back into the fold, you know, physically and mentally?
At first, the first time I sparred, it felt kind of weird. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it felt real weird. But after probably like the third or fourth, you know, sparring session, everything was just clicking, and now I'm sharp as a tack now. So, you know, everything's back to normal. You know, I feel like I wouldn't have no ring rust at all come December 5th.
Quick, Derek, how has Errol looked so far in this training camp, kind of after that initial phase where he was just trying to just get back into the rhythm of things?
Well, even when he was getting back to the rhythm and finding himself in the ring, he still was looking good. But I think it was the level of comfort that came in that made the difference. I mean, so it's like he still looked good from the first day spar to each day after that. But when you get more comfortable with just being back in the ring, being back home or whatever, it's you can see a difference. It looks amazing. It looks good. Everybody will see on December 5th who he really is.
One quick question to Danny. You know, Danny, I know Angel was talking about the fact that, you know, bringing in world judges and not local judges. And you've had the two very close losses on the scorecards to Shawn Porter and to Keith Thurman. Do you kind of look at this fight against Errol and believe that there is a sense of urgency or more pressure to kind of take the fight out of the judges' hands, even, you know, with trying to bring in different judges to try to make the fight as fair as possible? Do you feel like a knockout is more of a priority this time around?
You know, my job is to fight. At the end of the day, my job is to fight. I can't go in there and worry about judges. You know, the judges are gonna do what they do. They're gonna score the fight. My job is to put 110% in the gym and know that when I go in there come fight night, I'll be ready. You know, that's my job. My job is to fight and win rounds and win fights. The judges are not on my mind. You know, I can't worry about that. That's just a distraction. So at the end of the day, I'm worried about Danny Garcia being ready and going in there handling my business, and that's the only thing I know how to do.
Thanks, gentlemen. Best of luck to the both of you come fight night.
All right, thanks, Carlos. Our next question will come from Marcos Villegas. Marcos, please unmute yourself and you can ask away.
Hello, Danny. Hello, Angel, Derek, and Errol. Hope you guys have all been well. I'm going to ask both Errol and Danny this question. And Danny, you could answer first. When you look at this matchup, like, honestly, like, why do you feel you can win this? Like, what do you see there in your own game that will give you the decision or the knockout win in this fight? And that same question goes to Errol.
You know, I feel like I'm a great fighter. You know, I'm a great fighter, and you know, I've been in these type of fights before. These type of fights motivate me. You know, I know what I'm built of. I know what I'm built of. As long as I give 100% in the gym and stay mentally and physically ready, I know no one can beat me. And when Danny Garcia is focused like that, I know he's a dangerous man. And I believe I can beat anybody in the sport.
Errol, can I get your thoughts as to why you think you will win this fight, or that something that you possess that you feel that Danny won't be able to handle the night of the fight?
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter if it's inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire and we gotta lock it up, I feel like I'm gonna come out on top because I know how to dig down deep and I know how to just fight.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Marcos. Our next question is going to come from John Cudney. John, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey, guys. So this is a question first for Errol and Derek. The country's been going through a long series of lockdowns. COVID-19 has been awful. Just wondering what it means to you guys to fight in front of a live crowd at Cowboy Stadium for this fight.
For me, it means everything. Just fighting at home, and everything that everybody's been going through right now. And I just wish everybody that's gonna come out, be safe, wear your mask, follow the social distancing protocols and things like that. And I feel like it'll be a smooth night.
For me, I think that it's great, just to come home and fight at home and be at home and fight a great fighter like this. And put on a great performance is amazing, because I think that it only builds your legend, it only builds your stock, and to be able to perform at home in front of a live audience is very difficult to do. But at the same time, as for other people who are difficult for them, because Errol's been able to perform and do well in front of the audience, and we love that. So we love the energy, we love everything that the city brings us, from people from all over the world. To everybody in Dallas, we love their energy.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Those are great answers. Okay, questions for Danny and Angel. So I'm going to ask a cynical question, but I'm interested to hear your honest answer. So you guys had already agreed to this fight, as Jake mentioned earlier, but how are you approaching this now that Errol has been through the car accident? Does it give you potentially, extra confidence or a different approach, knowing he might have lost some speed off his fastball?
Now we're taking this fight, he's a champion, so we're taking this fight 100% serious. We're not banking on no, car accident or layoff and all those type of things. We're taking this 100% serious. Like I said before, we wanted this fight on January 25th. Things happened, then the COVID happened, so we just had to stay focused, and the world had to weather the COVID storm and all the crazy things that's going on in the world. But now the fight's finally here. We're 3.5 weeks away, and I feel like camp is going great, and we're gonna go in there and have a great performance.
Yeah, Angel, any thoughts? Yeah.
You gotta understand, like Danny said, it was for January when we for a red catch was supposed to be Spence, but then he got into that tragedy. But that's the past. So we're not looking at the accident because we're not doctors. He's cleared by medical. His team say he's good. Everybody else saying he's good. To us, he's good. We can't worry about that. That's something that it doesn't make the fight better or worse. We're not gonna go in there thinking that he was in a car accident, that we got the advantage. We're not falling for that booby trap. That's a booby trap. All we know that we going and for the COVID too, the reason we chose Dallas, Texas, because they got fans, or we wanted fans. If not, it would have been somewhere else. You know, and as long as the people follow protocol, and you know, not that I'm saying that it's not real, it's epidemic, all they give you is a fever for 10 days, not like it's gonna kill you. I mean, I don't know how the country is shut down over a fever, because we've been through worse in the past. So it's not the first time America ever had a virus. Okay, so like, as long as you follow protocol, you wear your little mask or whatever you want to wear, then you're good. But we're not worrying about that. We hopeless against protocol. We hopeless against masks. All we know is December 5th, we're going to go to Dallas. We're going to fight Spence and Danny. We're going to fight, and we're coming home victorious. That's all we got to worry about. Everything else is pushed to the side. It don't mean nothing to us. Like, don't mean nothing. I had cancer. I had an accident. I had a motorcycle accident, and I'm here. So as long as you get medical clearance from a doctor, we ain't going over there thinking he had an accident. We're going to go in there and smack him around. He's done. You know, we got to respect him. He's a champ. So we're going in there. We're going to fight. And we're going to fight December 5th. And we're going to have a great fight. And at the end of the night, and now new. And that's how it's going to work out.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Great answers.
Thank you.
All right, yep, thanks, Sean. We're going to have just a couple more media asked questions here. Our next question is going to come from Ellie Seckbag. Ellie, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hey guys, great to see you. I'm so excited about this fight. It's the biggest fight this year. What, for both Danny and for Errol, what do you guys do great, and what does your opponent do great?
You want me to go first?
Danny, you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I do everything great. You know, at the end of the day, I feel like I'm a true champion. I make adjustments. You know, I could bang it out. I could box. I feel like I could use my jab. And, you know, I feel like that's why I'm a 3-time world champion, because, you know, I faced many styles, southpaws, bangers, boxers, sluggers, been the underdog. And, you know, I came out on top. So I feel like these are the type of fights that bring out the best of me.
Well, I
Thanks,
feel like,
Danny. Earl?
things Danny do great is, he counter punches well. Got nice, sharp, short hooks. You know, something can be wild, but it's still strong, and hits hard. Has a great chin. A guy that's not, is willing to get hit and still come back with his shot too. So, I mean, like I said, great counter puncher. And the guy that's always, when he is the underdog, he always rises to the occasion, at least at 140 pounds. So, with me, I feel like I do a lot of things great. I feel like I can box. I feel like I can bang. I feel like, I can do it all. So it's not just one thing I can just point out that I do great.
Thank you. And then one more question. What makes your trainers, for both fighters, what makes your trainers so great?
I feel what makes my my trainer so great, he believes in me 110%. A lot of trainers are great trainers, but mentally they're not there for you. And I feel like Pops, he trains you hard, but he makes you believe in yourself. And I think that's the most important thing in and out the ring.
Well, for me, I feel like my coach is very detailed. Always paying attention to the little things. Even if I'm doing something right, he'll still, put it in my brain and still tell me, "Hey, keep your hands up, or throw your jab, or do this and do that." So with him, I feel like it's the details. He's always looking for something, You know, it's never anything perfect for him. You know, everything has flaws in it, everything you can learn from. So, you know, with him, it's just, you know, just detailed, very detailed coach.
All right,
Thank you
thanks,
so
Ellie.
much. Hope. Thanks.
Yep. Our last question is going to come from Cam Buford. Cam, if you want to unmute your mic, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Hey guys, thanks for making time. I look forward to this fight. Coach James, my question for you is, when Errol became healthy again after the accident, what was that process that you took him through to kind of get him ready for physical training or training for a fight, not this fight in particular, just a fight period? Did you take it easy on him, and just talk to us about that process, please?
Well, it was a slow process. I mean, even though you have the ideal of his mind in your mind, the last time you trained him was on a high level. You have to come in and kind of like put the training wheels on. It's a gradual process. I mean, and so by the time that this camp started, he was already in shape. He had been training for like 3 months, 4 months, maybe longer than that. So it was like it was the process of just we could mess around with some things and do some things, and then start perfecting some other things. So we had long enough time to do it, and that's great because it was beautiful. And like you said, the 2 more weeks only helped 2 more weeks of getting better, to just be great.
I got it. Thank you. And Earl, when they look at this fight with Mikey, they touched on that fight and said he found some opportunities in that fight. What are they missing from that fight about your fight game that if they just focus on that one fight, they'll be overlooking?
Oh, I don't know. I made that fight look easy. Well, it was easy. I had sparring harder than that. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think you can learn anything from that fight, really. Well, there's always something to learn, but, I mean, that fight was so easy that, sometimes I got unfocused.
No, well, I wasn't saying what did you learn. I was saying if the Garcias focus on that fight, what would they be missing if they just focus on that
That's the real
fight?
question. Fucking idiot. Nobody focusing on that fight.
Okay. Well,
just said we ain't learned nothing from that. Was you
okay.
hearing or not? You're an idiot.
He said he didn't watch the fight. He don't watch it because he didn't. He said he perfects Danny.
Real question, you moron.
Not,
Fucking moron.
Danny, you going into this fight and your pops is over there fired up, saying you can bring anything to the table.
Listen, man. Don't even answer. Get this idiot out of there, man. Bang him, man. Hang up. He's an idiot.
All right, that'll be it for the media questions today. Ray, we'll turn it back over to you to wrap up.
Thank you very much, Andrew.
Always talking shit.
Greatly appreciated. Hey, Angel and Danny, I want to get from Danny as we go ahead and
listen, man. I hate idiot writers. They're the ones that write all this bull crap about all these fighters, but they never got clipped in the tip of the nose. They act like they know these fighters. They don't know these fighters. They got to ask real questions. Was he listening? I say that we didn't learn nothing from that fight. Oh, you talking about we learned from what? What we learned from that? That was easy money for Spence. I would have took that money too. We wanted that fight. What the fuck?
Danny, can you give us your final comments as you get ready to collide against Errol Spence Jr. December 5th on PBC Fox Sports pay-per-view? Your opportunity to capture both the WBC and the IBF welterweight championship of the world.
I'm very excited, to be back on the stage and fighting for another world title. And come December 5th, I'm not leaving no rock unturned. We're about to work right now after this. We're putting the hard work in every day. It's been a long camp, a great camp. And we feel great. We feel confident. We can't wait to December 5th.
Thank you very much, Danny and Angel. We greatly appreciate it. Now for Errol Spence Jr., once again, another opportunity to defend your world championships at home, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, the home of your favorite football team, the Dallas Cowboys. What can we expect on December 5th against Danny Garcia?
You can expect an action-packed fight. If you know Danny Garcia, you've seen his fights. He's always in exciting, action-packed fights. I'm always in exciting, action-packed fights. So I mean, I think our styles are gonna clash, and it's gonna be a historic night come December 5th. So I can't wait. I know he's been training hard. I know he's 100% focused. I've been training hard. I'm 100% focused, and we're willing to put on the great show come December 5th.
Thank you very much to Errol Spence and Danny Garcia. Don't miss it. December 5th on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view, all brought to you by TGB Promotions, Man Down Promotions, and DSG Promotions. The lead-up continues. Errol Spence Jr. and Danny Garcia, welterweight supremacy on the line on December 5th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Limited tickets are available following COVID protocols. You can get them at SeatGeek.com, or for the rest of the world, watch it on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view on December 5th. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Have a great one, everyone, and we'll see you during fight week in the Dallas area. Have a great one.
Thanks, Ray. Hey, can we do one shot, you guys? I just like a shot of the two fighters in the camera, so if the trainers could step out, take your chair with you. We'll get 1-2 shot of both fighters, so we can get anybody can take the video. We'll have the video on record. There we go. Spence, Errol, can you move your chair over just a little bit? In the center. Thank you so much, guys. And then you'll be there. Yep, excellent. Okay, everybody, take any photos you want off the screen. Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thanks.